Did anyone here know that when you fly from Sweden to Madrid, you still have to get your passport checked? I didn't know that. I did not anticipate that. I just thought, I guess to European countries, you don't really have to get your passport checked. I'm a dumb American over here. Anyways, so I get on my flight to Sweden, no sleep, straight from the Taylor Swift concert. It's a really fun time. And I get to Madrid because my first layover is in Madrid. And I get off and there's this big old line, like after I take a fucking train to a new gate. And I was like, I was like, what the fuck is this line? And so I try to go up the escalator, the vacant one. I'm like, are you bitches dumb? What are you doing? No, then I got yelled at in Spanish saying I need to get in that line. And I'm like, why? And then he was like, let me see your passport. He said, American passport. That's the American passport line. I wanted to cry. At this point, I'm freaking out. And I'm like, oh my God, my flight literally boards in about 20-ish minutes. So I'm like, all right. And I just landed. I didn't do anything wrong. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I had to cut some people in line. Don't come at me. If I didn't cut people in line, I'd still be in Madrid right now. Anyways, so I go up the escalator and then we go to the actual passport check line. It's long as fuck. And I had a 2-hour layover. There was nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Sorry, my dad ended up picking me up for lunch. But anyways, I don't even know where I was. Oh, the long passport line. So I was literally looking at this. My flight's already boarding. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I look at this guy. I just start bawling. I'm bawling, crying, literally wanting to explode because I think I'm going to have to stay in Madrid. So yeah, this guy doesn't speak English either, by the way. And he's looking at a blonde American girl crying at him, and then he ended up letting me go through. And then I started sprinting to my gate, and I literally never wish that pain upon anyone. My lungs were on fire. I had to tell my poor little seatmate, hey, I'm not sick. I'm just really out of shape. Anyways, long story short, I ended up flying to Charlotte because that was my first place that I was stopping, and then that flight also got delayed. So I said, actually, no, I'm gonna sleep here. And so yeah, here I am. I'll be in Nashville so soon.
Hello everyone, it's Anthony here. Welcome to my channel. And today we are talking about clueless Americans who have been to Europe. So generally here in my channel we usually talk about politics, but today, forgive me a bit, we have to watch these clips and let's make conclusions at the end.
Americans who have been to Europe, we all came back realizing that America's a scam, right? I spent time in Portugal. Coffee was €1. Dinner for two, drinks, dessert, everything. Cost a third of what you'd pay here. And I didn't feel sick after eating because the food's actually real. And I already know some people are going to be in my comments saying, oh, it's exchange rates or they get paid less there so things cost less. It's not that. How is it that there I could take an Uber for €4 or the metro for a fraction of that cost? Then I come back home and an Uber from the airport costs $52 because of surge pricing. That's not just exchange rates. That's not a one-to-one. That is pure greed. And it's like that with everything. We are not getting what we're paying for here. We work more, pay more, and somehow get less. You pay just to exist here. If every American spent 1 week outside of this country, we'd never accept this again.
Let me holler at y'all real quick. In Amsterdam, I'm a piece of meat. What do I mean by that? Women in Amsterdam, when they find out you're from America, oh Lord, when I tell you you are going to be treated like you're valuable, that's an understatement. The one thing about American women, right? I love y'all and all of that, and I'm in a relationship, so I do want to put that out there, you know what I'm saying? Not creeping to nothing. One thing about American women, they don't like men. They don't. It's not just me, you know what I mean? I'm a successful guy. I got a decent career, make pretty good money, got nice cars, house, all of that stuff. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about they don't like them to where, you just say hi, and they, or they try to go to gyms and record themselves, being disgusted of men and doing all that stuff. The American culture has taught women to not like us. And right now you can see it backfired, right? You got a lot of women upset, complaining, oh, the men don't want to approach us anymore. And you know why we don't want to do that? You see what you're doing. Look at social media. anti-men propaganda constantly are trying to emasculate men. That's what happens in America. Out here, it's a completely different story. The man is valued. You don't think you think I'm lying? Go to Amsterdam, go to Europe, sit at a bar. Sit at a bar and have a drink. Watch how many drinks come sliding by models. Women that look like models. Because you know what? Like in Amsterdam, they feel like, I mean, I don't know what it is, because it's not just Amsterdam, it's a lot of different places. They feel like men should be the head of what's going on. Whereas an American woman feels like the American woman should be the head of everything that's going on, which is completely backwards. Don't just take my word for it. Come to Amsterdam. Get your passport, come to Amsterdam, spend a week out here. It will blow your mind at how valuable you actually are. Now I see why people who went to the military, who were stationed in Germany, they never come back. The men, they never come back to America. Now I understand completely. There is nobody in their right mind that's gonna go to Europe, go to Germany, or go to some of these places, be treated like a king, and then go back to America and be treated like crap. If you're single, insane. Literally insane. So now I understand why they do it. And like I said, in Amsterdam, I'm a piece of meat. I'm a regular looking guy. I'm a piece of meat. Get your passports. You will see what I'm saying. Just watch.
Biggest culture shock moving from the United States to Europe is not the one that anyone talks about. It's not the free, affordable healthcare or the fact that people are in cafes drinking beer and coffee at all hours of the day. It's cigarettes. No matter the country, everyone on this continent smokes cigarettes. I was just in a Romanian cafe at 12:27 on a Tuesday, and the entire thing was filled with 14-year-olds. I thought nothing of it. I go, okay, they're probably just skipping class. Until one of them pulls out an empty pack of cigarettes. I'm looking at it and I go, you're not old enough to do that. He then gets up, goes to the corner of the cafe, buys cigarettes from a cigarette vending machine. Then him and his 8 Romanian school buddies start chain smoking cigarettes inside the cafe. In the time of 30 seconds, I felt like I was transported back to an early 90s movie. In that cafe, I paid $2 for a cappuccino and a side of lung cancer. But now I'm gonna hitchhike to my Romanian hotel, so I'll see you later.
I have just found out that Americans wear their outside dirty shoes in their own home. Tell me this isn't the truth. Tell me, Americans, because what do you mean you are stepping outside in the dirt? There's dog poo out there, there's mud, there's spit on the floor, and you are then walking in to your humble abode where you go to sleep and you go to rest. You are walking around with your bare feet, I presume. Then you're getting into bed. You are getting into bed with basically everybody's spit and dog poo on your feet, and you're rolling around in bed being, ooh. No, babe, wake up. You have got people's dog poo on your feet. Take your shoes off when you go to your house. Please, I'm begging. This is just out of respect for you, because what do you mean? You are walking into your own house and you're wearing your outdoor shoes. Why are you doing that? Do you not feel repulsed by your own hygiene?
Being American in Europe is humbling because I'm at the Prada Foundation in Milan, and these are the restrooms, but I go in, where's the toilet? It's just a mirror. There's a sink in every single stall. There's sinks out here. I have to pee. I feel so dumb.
The most humbling thing is when you're in Europe and somebody just speaks to you in English, like before you even reveal that you're American in any way. They just look at you and read you down, and they know. Like, how did you know?
I have a message for my fellow Americans. Europe is not a country, all right? Europe is not a country. Europe is a continent filled by many countries. I don't know how many, but it's not a country. So I'm done with seeing all these things that say, this summer I'm in Europe. Hey everyone, I'm in Europe. Truthfully, that was me. But now I'm in Spain. Like, you gotta specify, people. Europe is not a country.
I had no clue that y'all had buildings like this, bro. First of all, I didn't even know that there were colors on that shit. And also the detail. Bro, tell me this. First of all, how old is that thing? And second of all, how long did it take for them to build that shit? And how come they were able to build shit like that way back in the day with way less tech and probably like, I mean, who knows how long it took, but you're telling me we can't put up a fucking apartment building in Miami at the same speed that they put this shit up? Something ain't right, bro. We got way better tech nowadays and we're doing shit supposedly bigger and better now, but how come they're able to make some shit like this with crazy ass detail like this out of fucking rocks and hammers, and we can't put up an apartment building with steel and fucking cranes and shit? I know there's a crane right there, but they're doing refurbishing. Absolutely insane, bro. Harry Potter.
So when Americans generally travel to Europe, they make the assumptions that Europeans are like them. You know, there is a very huge difference between Americans and Europeans. Despite most of Americans sharing some originality or some cultures with the Europeans. So generally, we have been mostly able to export our culture through movies like Hollywood, you know. So generally, we think that since maybe we export our culture through movies, these people are similar to us. But what I came to realize about most of us, we really don't know about the geography of the world outside our states, outside our country. We really don't know. Uh, like most Americans don't know that there is a difference between Europe as a continent and the European Union as a entity in Europe. You know, the European Union contains 27 states. The European Union, but Europe has 50 states. There is these nation states in Europe like San Marino, Vatican, Liechtenstein, Monaco, and Andorra. These are small states. They are even in some states. They are even in some countries in Europe inside, like Vatican is in Italy. Andorra, I guess Andorra and Monaco are in France. Liechtenstein is it's between maybe Switzerland and Austria, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. So mostly Americans, what they know about Europe, they think Europe is a country. They know about Paris. Yeah, yes. What's Europe without Paris? London. Like when you're in London, you are in Europe. When you're in Paris, you are in Europe. When you are in London, you are in Europe. When you are in Paris, you are in Europe. You are in Europe. But generally, what they don't know is that when you're in Paris, you are not in the best city in France unless you are used to media propaganda. There are other better cities in France than Paris, like Lyon. Lyon is a better of city than Paris in what I've seen, you know. So when in France, you haven't even visited Saint Etienne, you haven't been to Nancy, you haven't been to Bordeaux, you haven't been to Lille, you haven't been to many good places when in France, right? Yes. Even Russia is in Europe. Yes, Russia is in Europe. Turkey is in Europe. Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia, they are all in Europe. Ukraine is in Europe. Yes, Ukraine is in Europe. But they are not part of European Union. So when we talk about Europe, there is a difference between Europe and European Union. Countries like which were former Soviet Union countries, but they are now in Europe, in European Union and in Europe. Let's say places like Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, those were former uh, Soviet countries, but they are not in European Union. Russia itself, Russia is Europe. Yes, amazing. Russia is Europe. Amazing. Russia is Europe. Many don't believe so, but it's true. Russia is Europe. Moscow is in Europe. So when we talk about Europe, Europe as a continent, Schengen area, uh, European Economic Agreement area, and then there is the European Union. Stark difference. Countries like Iceland, Norway, and Switzerland, they are not part of the European Union. Norway tried to go or to a referendum to join 2 times, but they all failed. You know, yes, they all failed. Iceland, Iceland hasn't made much made much trial because what these countries consider is their fisheries. Norway and Iceland, they are major fishing grounds. And when you join the European Union, you must allow other countries of the European Union to fish in your area, which Norway and Iceland, they are a bit not in mood of doing so. And other thing, Norway has major resources like oil, gas. So when they join the European Union, they might be prone to these European Union regulations in their mining sector, which are the major parts of the economy. And when they join the European Union, they might be affected. So they are in European Economic Agreement, whereby they contribute to the European budget, but in they are not prone to European regulations, right? Yes, they contribute the European budget, but they are not do they contribute the EU Union budget, but they are not part of it, right? So now maybe you have understood what I'm saying. So everyone, thanks for watching my video. It has been amazing having you here. If you have watched to this far, if you watch in other social media like X, Facebook, the liberal voice has been silenced. You know, the algorithm is designed to silence our voices. So when you see us trying to stand against this Trump madness, try to subscribe to our channels, give your views, your comments,